All right, what up, traders? Let's do my recap. I had to run some errands today. Took me out of the house way earlier than normal, and I'm barely getting back. So I wanted to run my recap because I like to go over everything that I do. I like to talk through it. This is therapeutic and engaging for myself, and if anybody else can benefit from it, man, I'm happy about that. So let's talk about it today, January 8th. What was going on? So pre-market, I saw three stocks I was interested in: MTP, CEI, and I want to say load or something like that, but I scrapped load early. All right, so here we go. So you know my deal. If for those of you who do not, I always break everything down just like I do when I'm back trading. And so I went into this. I looked at the daily, I looked at the hourly, and I looked at the. I didn't look at the 15 because it was gapping up so high that the 15 didn't matter and was showing me the same thing. Essentially, there's my cursor, showing me the same support level. So I kind of knew, if this thing cracked majorly, where it would go. All right. So my game plan says stock is gapping up out of the lows. Daily chart is shitty, as it is. You can see that. Daily chart is shitty. It has a clean support area around 72 on the hourly chart. Don't forget, you guys. I make these things in the morning. I never correct them. I just move forward because I'm racing against time when I'm doing it. But that should have a T. You are correct. Okay. Stock is moving because of an agreement in China. Okay. The pre-market shows movement at the 92 area, but is above the $1 mark and now may hold area, but is above the $1 mark and may hold because of the whole number. Okay. My whole thing is anytime a stock, gets to those whole numbers, people like buying at whole numbers. So even though I thought the best area to buy was at 92, I didn't think it would go there because of the whole number. That's what I'm telling myself. Okay, if it pulls back to the 92 area, I am a buyer. If it spikes at the open, then I will wait 15 minutes and reevaluate. Okay, so that was my game plan on MTP. So let's go now to the stocks to trade, which is where I do all my trading during active hours in regards to my charts, because I trade penny stocks specifically, right? And stocks to trade focuses on that. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other software that you can get. I just happen to do this because I went through Tim Sykes' school where I learned a ton and turned a lot of stuff into my own. And yeah, man, life's good. Okay. So here we go. We're talking about MTP. We'll come to CEI in a second. MTP. Let's go. All right. So you heard my game plan. 92 area. Reevaluate if it spikes in the first 15 minutes. Okay. Here's the pre-market chart. Okay. Coming, looking back. Remember, traders, hindsight is always 2020. Looking back, man, this was a great area right here to buy. 117. Especially knowing that unless it really cracked back down here at the open, that wasn't going to happen because I told you that whole number theory, right? So here we go. I drew all my lines pre-market, and so I'm going to go to noon. I always go to noon, and the reason why I go to noon is because I'm on the West Coast, and I trade from 6:30 to basically 8:30, and no later than 9 because I gotta go to work and I take my kids to school. And so I usually leave my house by 8:30. So usually I'm done with the market by 8:30, which is why I really focus heavily on what happens in the first 3 hours. I really and I advise anybody who wants to trade or is trading, if you got an open schedule, good for you. But if any of you are like me, where you do this is fun. I make a good living off of this, and I make a good living off of what I do. So this is just all like extra money that pays bills, takes us on vacation, just you name it, man. This is what this does for me. It's really good. It's very lucrative. Okay. Anyhow, so I go to noon and now I'm done. Okay. So 9 to noon East Coast time, 9:30 to noon. All right. So here we go. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Coming into the open, it pulls back here to this area. I love this area, but I hate when stocks open right at the area that I love. I like them to either be up here and pull back to the area, or since it was already here, I want it to crack bigger now. Okay, because I like to buy them on discount and then watch everybody jump on. That's my strategy. I love that strategy. So these are different. So it came here, it hit my area, and then it come up and it pulled back. This would have been a great opportunity, although it didn't match my plan. Okay, so I didn't take it because it didn't match my plan. So I left it at that. It spikes up, and it had I got in at my line is drawn at 117. Okay, 10% of 117 is 17 cents. Excuse me, 11 cents. Yes, excuse me, 11 cents. All I need to move is 11 cents. Okay, so from 17, all I need is 27. Well, we can see right here by the next two candles, it was at 34. So easily would have hit my mark. But I didn't trade it because it was too tight. I wanted it to crack all the way down. Okay, and honestly, I'm knowing that it ain't gonna break $1. I know that because it's just when it's got that kind of energy, it's too strong, and to think that you're gonna get down to 90 is kind of crazy. So maybe $1 would have been the best case scenario. Okay, but here we go. It worked. It's working its way back. Here it is. It's back again at that 117 area, and it cracked. Okay, now. I get interested once it gets to, down to this dollar range. So this is all $1.10. We're at 11:30. Let's see. Let's keep going. One more frame, and we'll be past my bedtime, so to speak. Okay. So right here, what did this go to? What is this low? So there's an opportunity here. If I wanted to play the dollar range at $1, and all I need is 10 cents movement, so I needed to hit 110. So here's an opportunity. What is this, the high of these? So they got to 109. Okay, so 109. So, yeah, it really would have been a 9% win if I exit there. Let's see if it does it. Doesn't look like it does. But now we're beyond my time frame, right? So I'm good. I'm not going to worry about what happened because I would have closed this trade anyway. Hopefully I would have got it filled in the 107 area. 7-8% win. I'll take it, man. As they always say, you cannot go broke taking a profit, my friend. So I would take that. I would be happy with that. So we see that it didn't really set up, and that's why I didn't take the trade. When I write my pre-market game plan, I pretty much stick to it. And then say if this thing would have truly spiked, I would have had to reevaluate and make some new assessments on what I would be willing to do. Okay. So yeah. All right. Next stock that I was looking at, CEI. So let's go back into presentation mode. All this was written this morning during the pre-market. I usually get to the market about 5:40, 5:50-ish. I start breaking down the most active charts. I'm not even going to worry about load. The load might have did something today. I didn't like the way it looked. My game plan daily is the shits. It has support on the hourly at 51. It is currently gapping up to the 60s on acquisition news. Pre-market shows that the movement starting at the 60, but at the low, it is at the lows and may drop down to the 50 area on the hourly support area before interested. It needs way more volume. That was the only other reason why I didn't like it. It didn't have no volume, man. I was like, the hourly looked shitty. It reminded me of an ADR. It was just ugly. So I didn't want it, but it was popping. It was it was one of 3 pre-market gainers that, interesting enough, pre-market didn't like yesterday's pre-market. It was like 5 stocks that was booming. Today it was only like 1.5, and that's why I had to evaluate that one. Okay, then CEI. Okay, I'm gonna just show you the hourly. So this is breaking out from the lows. The daily looks the shits. Look at it, and I probably say that daily is shitty. Look at it, it's dead. Okay, but it's breaking out. And this reminds me of breakout charts. Okay, so this thing has an opportunity to run. It would have been better if it was consolidating in here, maybe made a cup and handle, something kind of like this right here, and then boom, shoot off, right? That would have been perfect, but it was gapping up to like 3 something. So let's go to the daily. What did I say? Stock is moving up from the lows on compliance news. Oh yeah, it got right back in compliance with the was the SEC or with the stock exchange. I can't remember, one of them. Anyhow, had good gains yesterday. Today may be a continuation. Has hourly support at the $3 range, but pre-market the move starts at 320. It currently sits at 375. A pullback to 345-ish would make me a buyer. If it spikes at the open, then I will wait 15 minutes and reevaluate. So basically I'm saying if this thing pulls back to the 345-ish range, I'll buy it there. Let's go to the charts. Why did I feel like that about it? Pre-market. So let's go to stocks to trade and CE to the high. Okay, I gotta go get my kids in a little bit. I see. All right, CEI. All right, here we go. All my lines. Okay, here's one of the reasons why I like that area in the 340-ish. I love areas where it comes up to a spot and rejects the spot and it comes back. I love clean and then it does it again. Boom. Boom. I love clean pivot areas. God, you gotta love clean pivot areas because it makes trading so much easier. Okay? Because up here, this old resistance has become new support. Okay? And down here, that old resistance, or old, I guess how I'm saying it, from the pivot up, this old support would be now new resistance depending on where the stock is. Okay, so we just you gotta be able to understand the basics. But anyhow, I drew up some lines. I knew the 340-ish area was nice, 350 area. I knew that was a good area to play in. And then the other area that I really liked, even better than that, the optimal area was 320. Okay, because down here you can see where the move ignites. It boom, it shoots off from here and it comes back down. This doesn't come all the way to 320, but it's 321, and boom, and it comes back down, and it gets where to 320, and boom, and it goes again. So that's a strong buy area. Okay, so my plan should have been to wait till it hit 320. But I was looking at this clean pivot area. I love clean pivot areas, and so here we go. We start trading, and then boom, guess what it does? Come on right down in here, which marks to me that this is a trigger. Okay, so we in now. Okay, and so boom, you take that. What's my price? I got in here 340. It was it 340? I think I got executed at like let's just say 337 for now. I think it was something like that. And anyhow, okay, so what do I need now? Don't forget my calculator, gang. You know it ain't the best, but I do know I only need 10%. So let's see what I'm looking for, and let's see if it happened. Okay. All right, here we go. So what the hell's going on? What's this behind? Oh, it's open too. All right, I got in at 337. Okay, 10% of that is 33 cents, and that equals 370. That's what I need, you all. Let's see what happens. Okay, pulls down, hits the area. Look at this big, strong, beautiful candle if you are a buyer. All the way back up here real quick to 360 something. Then what does it do? The next candle, 370. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Get the hell out of Dodge and go mind your business. Okay, all right. Came back up, and you see it's working down. Now look what it did. It came down to where? Look at the low, 321. What did I say the best area that I wanted it at? 320. Okay, so I could have, waited and put an order in at 325-ish, 320, 323, any of that stuff, but you don't know. You're guessing. I knew this one. Guessing here. I just know it's optimal. 1 second. Let me pause it. I got a phone call. Okay, my apologies. I had to take that phone call real quick. But all right. So yeah, it comes down here, man, and then from 320, if you get this at 320, what do we need? Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so let me clear that. 3.20 plus we need how many? 32 cents. Okay, plus 0.32 equals 352. All right, cool. Let me go here, and within roughly, what's this candle here? High 349. Within roughly 20 minutes, you are at 355. Moonwalking out. Look, and then look what it did. And it burst through here. It beat the area it couldn't beat. It squeezed all the shorts from yesterday in pre-market, and it squeezed all the way up to 410. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now I probably wouldn't have been in for all of that. because I'll take 10% and I'll walk. I had issues with my trading where I was getting greedy, and I would be waiting for like, oh, this is gonna be the one, this is gonna be the home run, and then I end up losing money. And so I just always said, forget it. From here on out, I'm just taking that 10% because I'd rather take 10% of a win, and be happy with that. And so that's been worked wonders for my trading because all of a sudden now the money just seems like it keeps flowing in. So, this is how that worked. Now, when I talked about I will evaluate if something spikes, this didn't spike, but like, let's say if this happened at the open, boom, and it ran up here, what I would do, I already had these pre-market lines drawn. I would say, if this thing just happened right at the open, I would be a buyer when it came back into the support area. Why? Because old resistance is new support. And this is a clean pivot area, right? So I would have been a buyer here if this happened at the open. That didn't happen, though. It didn't work that way. But if this happened at the open, I wouldn't have mind taking my shot at 370, basically 375, and hoping that that it ran through 4, again, and I would have needed probably 420s or something like that for a 10% win. But look, it did end up cracking, and it sold off. Yeah, let's see. I'm only gonna go to noon. Boom, there's noon. So either way, I would have been out. Either trade that I would have executed would have been a winner because you see it worked perfect towards my plan. Let's learn a lesson. Write your plan out, work your plan. The only thing I'm gonna show you is this other one. It's UNW because I did on my other account take this trade. Okay, and I lost on this trade, and there was a lesson in it for me. This was not on my radar pre-market. It popped up late, and it the open, it spiked, and so it came on my gainer list, and I saw it, and I went and draw the lines, and I said, oh, 160 would be great, but the optimal area is 147, which is why I had the lines drawn. I got in on this candle here at the 160 mark, and it couldn't even push, and then it cracked, and then I just basically, instead of I cut my loss basically. Because you never know how far this is going to crack. So you see how it came here, which is where where was the optimal area? There. I should have bought it there. Okay, and then it went. It would have been, all I would have needed was 12 cents. It gave me all 12 of that from right here. So you would have got in at 148. Plus 10 is 58. Plus 2 is 60. And this thing spiked over here at, what is that, 63. Okay, so the possibility was there, but I got in too early. Hoping that this old resistance was going to be some good support, and it just didn't work. And so the point is, sometimes it happens. But one of the learning lessons is this had already pulled back to 60 right here, and boom, and it shot off again. And now it's working back. And usually when things already happen, I don't trade them. I like to trade the new event. The new event would have been that when it pulled back here, that was new. It hadn't been here yet. Okay, since the open, it hadn't been here, and it was already spiked immediately, so it really didn't spend any time down there. That would have been the more ideal play, but it's all good. You live and you learn. It was still worth a shot at 60. It just didn't work out, and that's how it goes. I probably should have waited. And I think what I'm learning from here is, the more you work into the day, you got to look for your optimal trade areas, because those are going to be the areas that really pay you. You don't want to be in the in between. This is the gray. It wasn't a gray at this point of the day. Okay, let's go back so we can see that. Yeah, right there. See, right now that's not the gray. That's a great area. That's a great opportunity at this point, right? Because it's spiking. But boom, then it came and pulled in and it went. So such is life. You live and you learn. I always go back and look at everything that I do at all my trades, because in doing that, you just get so much better. You just get so much better. So anyhow, man, y'all enjoy. I'm gonna allow this film to render, and I'll see y'all tomorrow morning getting after it.